Just what everyone wanted to hear. Starting off this.
How now, brown cow?
How now, brown cow? Is that a voice warmer
Human
upper?
Torch was denied a bank loan.
There.
Unique New York.
Unique New York. How now, brown cow? What is that from? The Kid.
What?
Way back, the Disney movie.
The one
Kid.
with.
The one with what's his name?
He's in everything.
Bruce Willis. Yes. Yep.
Well, that's a very famous warm up. So I'm sure it's in a 10.
Yeah, I'm sure it's in a bunch of movies.
But I do know
that's the one
movie.
I remember.
That movie used to depress the shit out of me.
It did.
That movie is very sad.
It is sad. The Sixth Sense is on Netflix too. Did you guys see that?
Yeah.
That's a great film.
That's a movie that I would love to go back and be able to watch for the first time.
I know.
Because the twist is so big.
First time I watched it was nuts.
And even knowing the twist now, it's a great movie.
It is. Even knowing the twist, I enjoy going back and watching it. I think it's
because the acting and Haley Joel Osment is a creepy little fucker in that.
Yeah, for sure.
That was peak M. Night Shyamalan.
Yes, it was. Yes.
At his top of his game.
Mm-hmm. Good for him. Now they got that, what's the one? Split, but they got the sequel coming out for that.
Yeah.
I forget what it's called.
They already released, it's called Glass, isn't it?
I think so, yeah.
You guys haven't seen Unbreakable, have you?
I've seen it.
You have?
Yeah.
It's one of my favorite movies of all time. That's my favorite M. Night Shyamalan movie. It's got Bruce Willis in it.
Oh.
I'll
have to watch it.
Jackson.
Split is the sequel to that.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Split's the sequel to that?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And Morgan Freeman's
Do they
in
actually
that.
tie in together or no?
Well, they tie in with the ending of Split. Bruce Willis at the end.
Yeah. That was awesome.
That's his character from the first one.
Oh, okay. I thought they tied that into Sixth Sense.
No.
That's why I was so confused at the end of the movie. I was like, why did they bring Bruce Willis?
Unbreakable, it might be on Netflix, but it's a superhero movie. Mm-hmm. He plays a superhero. And Samuel Jackson plays Mr. Glass, the bad guy. You haven't seen that?
No, I haven't.
What
year did that come out?
90s, maybe early 2000s?
I think early 2000s, I'm thinking.
Not the Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt. Not 2014. I don't fucking know. Click on Unbreakable 2000. That's it?
Yep.
It's so good. And it's got that famous 7.2 IMDb rating.
That we all know and love.
Yeah,
yep.
The one that's given to everything.
Gosh.
You have to watch it, Mason.
I'll check this one out. For sure. It's got Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, how do you know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and Robin Wright. Oh, my God, I love her.
I forgot she was in it. That's one of the first things I've seen her in.
And I'm so happy they're bringing back House of Cards for one last season. I wanted to see her.
Hopefully they do it good.
Yeah, I hope they do. I hope they do her justice because her character was really good in that too. So I'm stoked that she's back.
Well, what are we talking about today?
What was your pick?
Yes.
We
were talking about Killing of a Sacred Deer on Amazon.
And I had actually... This is one of the few ones that I had seen
out of
before.
all the movies he hasn't seen.
I know, right?
He hasn't seen, like, Castaway or, like, all the most famous...
Castaway, fuck
Oh, my
you.
God, I was about to
Fuck
freak
you.
out.
Tom
out of
Hanks,
all the movies...
I watched Tom Hanks films.
There's so many movies. He literally only watches Winnie the Pooh. He sits down here 18 hours a day.
Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, you betcha, bro.
But,
I'm stoked for August 3rd. I'm not gonna lie. I've got that date.
It's gonna be a big day.
Down.
It's gonna be a big day for you and everyone.
I already bought my tickets. Star Wars and Winnie the Pooh. Only two movies I'll pre-buy.
I'm sure that you were the only one who pre-bought a ticket to the new Winnie the Pooh.
Well, it was
They must have looked at
trending
you.
number one on Twitter today. It was promoted, but it was still trending.
You mean someone paid Twitter to
Yes. To falsify
Yeah, I mean, that happens
what was
that
trending.
means nothing to me.
It doesn't mean a damn thing, but I'm excited for it.
But we're talking about the Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Which
Colin
is not
Firth.
so fun and friendly.
It's not light. No, we're making light of it, but it's a very, very heavy movie.
Very heavy, slow,
Dark.
burner.
Oh yeah.
Just,
That's what I said when I told you guys we're watching it. It's like Hereditary slow burn.
Definitely.
Where you're really Hereditary and like The Witch slow burn.
Right.
Where you're really just getting through it for those last
moments.
Few scenes, yeah.
Yep. And it's kind of open. This movie too is kind of, in my opinion, open for interpretation.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
there's a lot of
Like all those
symbolic
movies, yeah.
things in the movie that you pay attention to, and you're like, oh, I see what they're doing there. And I actually saw that more so in the second time around that I watched it than the first. I think the first time it was just so overwhelming and very shocking and grotesque scenes, not in like a gore sense, but in a like dialogue sense, where it was whoa, I was not expecting that.
Very morbid, real things talked about
Right.
too, and everyone is like in this like Wes Anderson kind of
World.
person where everyone only talks in really, really real and really
like doctor
honest,
terms.
very honest.
Yeah.
Everything's super honest, and there's no sarcasm or there's no jokes really. There's no lightness at all in this world.
No, in the dialogue, whatever characters, saying the dialogue, it's very well. It's always explained.
Yeah.
So like even when he's talking about his mom's lemonade, it's like, oh yeah, my mom made this lemonade. She loves this lemonade. She makes it with this and this and that. And I'll bring you some lemonade sometime. You'll like her lemonade. You should try her lemonade. And it's like, it's on and on and on, and it's just very
Almost exhausting.
Yeah, it is. It's very exhausting.
It kind of, I think what it makes it do, it makes you feel very tense.
Yes.
And that's what they're driving at.
Absolutely.
I think every scene in this movie was created to make you feel tense.
And the tension builds, but it builds in a way that you don't realize.
Yeah.
It's a definitely unique building tension. Because like the first time I watched this, I just felt anxiety the whole time.
Yeah,
I was like,
you kind of feel
what
like your
is
skin is
going
crawling
on?
and stuff. Yeah. Is this, Michael, is this the first time you've seen this, right?
Yeah, it's the first time.
You must have been blown. But like you said, Mason, is going back, watching this again, you start to pick up all those hidden meanings and everything.
Yeah.
But what do you think, Michael?
You guys aren't going to like what I think, so.
Well, that's why we're here.
That's why we're here. Yeah, it's okay.
Don't hide it. Yeah, I know.
Opinions.
Well, if
It's
you want,
good.
if you guys are done, then yeah, I'll talk about it. But if you guys aren't done talking about how much you loved it, then you probably don't want to go to me.
Well, we can go back.
Yeah, we can debate.
I was not a fan of this movie, like almost at all. Other than the cast, I like the cast, but I don't know if I just didn't get it or what, but I was bored as fuck, especially through the first hour and 10 minutes. I was bored as hell. It was all I could do not to just shut it off. To me, the dialogue just felt like, other than like towards the end where Colin Farrell starts talking to his kids when they've already been paralyzed by some fucking god, I guess. It all just felt like small talk to me. Like anytime anybody had a conversation, it's like nobody actually wanted to talk to you. Which probably was on purpose. It's probably what they meant to do, but I did not like it.
It was. I think that whole thing is being like, this world is kind of nothing like our world, and everything they do is very different and very odd, and it's left out where it's, like I said, there's only bleakness.
And we see that in the very first scene. The heart beats, and that's, interestingly enough, was actually a real surgery performed. That's a real heart beating. I guess they got the rights, whoever's heart it was, to actually film that. But then the scene right after that long, slow pan up, they start talking about the watches. And it's very monotonous, and it's just like this bland conversation, very detailed conversation. Oh, yeah, it's waterproof up to 100 meters.
Yeah.
Oh, well, mine's up to 200 meters. Oh, well, you want a leather band for that? Oh, like it's just very monotonous.
It did, and it reminds me, I said that Wes Anderson, but it also reminds me of like The Shining and stuff like that, where it was like these pan-up scenes, and this film is very artsy. When you talk about art scenes,
extremely.
It's everything, all the scenes, like I said, some of the scenes were very beautiful to me. They were just really good looking. That scene where they're riding the motorcycle in the back of the city, that scene, it looks amazing.
Right.
But I could see the dialogue and everything, it's meant to be that way for a reason.
Yes.
And kind of the reason is up to your interpretation. Yep. But I can see how it could get on anyone's nerves.
One of my favorite parts about this whole entire film, going back to the artsy, the score for this film was fucking incredible. It was one of the best. Just that music, and it's always at like the most like tense moments.
Yeah.
And then it like sometimes it would throw you off guard too. Where it's just like, it's just like so good. I loved it. I love the score to this film.
It constantly, I think, throws you out of your comfort zone.
Yes.
That score, because sometimes it will be like the solo, like the 2 strings being plucked or something. Then it'll be silence, and then it'll be that loud, that boom, that like loud thunderous, and it makes you very uneasy.
Right, because the movie naturally is just so quiet.
Yeah.
And it just sounds like the audio is at like a 30. And then when the music comes on, it's like at 100. Like my TV and my desk was shaking, and I'm like, oh my gosh! And it made me feel very uncomfortable at times.
Yeah.
But I like that. I love that about this.
I really like the suspense of not knowing. I remember watching it for the first time, not knowing of like what is going on.
Yeah.
Most movies I could have some kind of guess, but this movie is just, it's so goddamn original that I had no clue watching it. I can almost always predict where it's going or something, but I had no clue that, you know, the kid had like powers or something like that, or and I didn't know.
Vengeful.
Yeah.
Just based on his dialogue, you wouldn't think originally that he was a vengeful person.
I figured at the start that it would be something with his dad and whatnot, because it obviously leads into that or whatever, but the whole thing of him like telling him that it has to be uneven or whatever, balanced, and Thanos would have loved this kid.
Yeah, he would have. He would have loved this
all
kid.
things balanced, and and like all the people in it are amazing. That kid is just the kid who plays like the main bad kid.
He's great.
He's insane.
He's great.
He's so fucking creepy in this. He's such a goddamn
The
weirdo. Where he's like a robot.
Scene,
yeah.
Where he thought he was that dialogue was fucking fantastic. The spaghetti scene.
And that's a scene where I think it really just shows you how fucking unhinged that kid is. Because it really shows.
Because he thought he was special, you know, that he was looping up the spaghetti, and then he realized at one point that he's just like everyone else.
Yeah, he's just like everyone else.
Yeah.
And he is. He's just, the way he talks and everything, the way he just quickly explains everything, and the way he kind of never lets you get in a word or whatever. When he was like inviting him to dinner, he's like, yeah, my mom wants you over for dinner. Before he'd say anything, he'd be like, oh, is 8 o'clock okay?
Yeah.
And they'd be like, okay, we'll see. Like, before you can even get a word in, and just very fucking stressful. It just
Cafeteria is the same thing, where he's like, okay, I got to tell you, blood from the eyes, or perilous in the legs, blood's in the eyes, and then you only have hours to live, and that's it. Okay, I said what I need to say.
Yeah, as fast as I can.
Yeah,
but then
it's just like, ugh.
You can never say anything back to him. I mean, because it seems like he's not there.
And to understand that as an actor too, like, very good.
Yeah.
You know, like that's like a very different take on it.
He played it almost to where like I felt like he was like autistic at times or something like that, where I thought they were going to get into that, where he was going to be something wrong with him or something. Right. But really he was just this little psychopath where, because you remember at the start, everyone loved him or whatever. He was like the best kid. He was super polite.
They wanted him
and
over
everything.
to the house.
Yeah. And then you start seeing how he just starts becoming like this weird and like him. At the end of the movie, by the end of the movie, he's got everyone in the family smoking cigarettes.
Yes, he does. Yeah, and there's a lot of foreshadowing too. Like, did you notice Colin Farrell's character Stephen Murphy, when he lied to his wife, but he lied to her twice about the actual funeral? And very small thing that I didn't pick up on the first time, but picked up the second time watching, was he said that he died instantly in a car accident. That's not the
he lies to her throughout the entire thing, and some things you're thinking like, why is he lying about this? Like some things you think you don't know why.
Weird.
But
and then you understand though eventually why.
Yeah,
because he's a drunk and he botched that operation.
I love the scene where he's talking to her and she's like, did anything go wrong? He's like, nothing. It's never the surgeon's fault in surgery. It's never. He's like, it's always the anesthesiologist. And then she goes to him, and he says the exact opposite. Yeah. No, it's never the anesthesiologist. It's always the surgeon.
And can we just bring up the most awkward hand job ever in a film?
No, I've seen some awkward hand jobs. Yeah,
but that's on the top of the list, man. Because
it was very realistic.
Weird. Yeah, it was. Yeah, because you were wondering what the hell she was meaning, and then even that long pan scene. I didn't know what was going on because you didn't hear that going on. I just thought they were having a conversation in the car, and then all of a sudden I'm like, whoa, what the first time I watched, the second time I knew. But first time I was just like, whoa, what the hell?
The first time I had to rewind, I'm like, did I miss something?
Yeah.
Because it jumps to, and the editing is so quick. But I think, and the second time watching it, I think it just shows you how everyone in this movie is kind of out for themselves and whatnot. Because towards the end, we see the kids start going at each other, telling each other that they're going to be...
playing each other, too.
Yeah.
Playing on Colin Farrell's feelings, too.
Yeah, and that girl even goes down and tries to save herself at one point, and he tells her. So you really... That's what the whole movie to me is about, is it's not really the story of why it's happening, like why they're dying. I didn't really need to know if he was a wizard or he cursed him or whatever.
Neither did I, oddly enough.
It was just the journey of this family going through something. Their kids are dying for no reason. They're straight, and seeing how they deal with it or whatever, and him having to choose eventually who dies, which is a crazy scene.
Man, some of those ending scenes too. Yeah, like when they got him locked up in the basement.
Yeah.
Bites off his arm. He's like, it's symbolism. See. Symbolism.
And I swear, when Colin Farrell comes down and slaps him, I swear that slap looked real.
It looked very real. Yeah, there's some movie slaps, and then there's some real slaps.
I bet that kid's probably 18 or whatever.
Yeah,
I bet
he's our age.
Yeah. Oh, is he? Yeah. I bet he said to him, "Just come down here and just slap you," because that slap looks so good.
It did.
And even when he was hitting him, it seemed like it was awkward, like he didn't know how to throw a punch. The doctor or whatever. But do you know what that kid's in?
He was in Dunkirk, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Now,
that's what I thought.
yeah, Dunkirk. Yeah.
Plays a kid that dies in the worst war way possible. He hits his head on a cupboard or something like that.
Yeah.
That was brutal.
Since we're on the topic of awkward scenes, there's one that surpasses the hand job. And that would be when Stephen Murphy, which is Colin Farrell, tells his boy, he goes, because he's trying to get him to walk, and he's not walking, and he thinks at this point that he's still faking it.
He's trying to get him just to tell him that he's telling a lie or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
And he brings up, he goes, I'll tell you a secret, and then you tell me one. And he tells a story about how, he was a young boy, and he was...
It's crazy,
masturbating, and he finally just a little dribble of ejaculation, and then he went into his father's room and jerked him off while he was drunk, and then ran out of the room scared. I was just like, did that need to be a scene? That scene to me was very off-putting and weird.
I think that did a lot of different things, because I think it showed how fucked up Colin Farrell was.
Right.
Because we know he was an alcoholic.
Yes.
And he was a piece of shit.
Yep.
Because he did go to surgeries drunk. And I think it showed him that he came from a really messed up and
family.
it kind of said his dad was so drunk he
didn't even know what was
didn't
going
even
on.
know.
Yeah.
And it showed that, and it was also him trying to tell. And I also think at that point he was so desperate that he told him the worst secret he had in his life.
Yeah,
like
to
the
try to get
very
him
worst
to-
thing to get him,
yeah.
and it backfired in his face. Now his son probably thinks he's weird as shit.
Yeah. Talk about the kid being 18 getting punched. That was a very physical moment too, when he grabs his son's jaw and was like, "You will eat these." He was really cramming those donuts down his throat, dude. I was like, Jesus.
That's
Christ.
what I really
You
like.
have some parental consent for that actor.
And scenes like that were and they were heartbreaking too, where he was like, "Okay, we're gonna walk now," and he was just dragging him around the hospital.
Yes.
I thought scenes like that were very, very sad and dramatic.
And kudos to the two kids, the brother and sister in this movie, because the way their legs went limp were so real.
Yeah.
Like when they were crawling around, I like to look at little things like that, if there's any movement, because then it kind of takes away from it. I like that continuity, I guess. But it was very well done. Like they didn't move their legs at all. It was literally as if...
Yeah, and even when she had to roll over in the bed,
Right.
Nicole Kidman, who we haven't talked about, but Nicole Kidman is great in this too.
She's amazing.
As someone all these characters are kind of pieces of shit. I mean, but they're all about to die or whatever.
Yeah.
They all think they're dying, so they're all out for themselves or whatever. But where she had to roll him over, and then the next scene was her walking, and at that part, you have no idea what the fuck is going on.
No.
Well, Michael, what else did you not like about this movie?
All of it.
Tell us. Let us know.
The dialogue was so boring and dry that I didn't care to listen. The only time that it piqued my interest is at first when Colin Farrell was trying to figure out what was wrong with his kids. I was like, all right, yes, we're going to try to figure this shit out, what's going on, and then they never figured it out.
I think for me, why the dialogue works so well is I think when doctors talk, they're pretty plain Jane.
Yeah.
They're very
but not everybody in this movie is a doctor.
Right, but these kids are coming from a doctor household, a very intelligent family as far as... And not only that, but the son wanted to be the same cardiologist like his father as well. Well, that's what he said anyway after he cut his hair. But I think that's why the dialogue worked for me too. I just felt like it was kind of in that world. We had brought up earlier.
Yeah, I've never thought about it like that, but that would make a lot of sense. Where if you're around the doctor all the time, you would get that candidness. Where that does make a lot of sense. Yeah, and like you said, the dialogue, even though how bizarre it is, it's just very, very original to me, and I didn't find it annoying or anything. I felt like it was doing what it was supposed to do, and that was making me feel tense as fuck.
Yeah, I thought they executed it very well.
Yeah. This movie isn't a horror, but it's definitely a psychological thriller. Like we were kind of compared it to The Witch and Hereditary, but it definitely isn't as dark. At least the vision. Yeah. But it's a thriller for sure.
It is.
And it
is, and a very slow burner. Slow ass burner.
Yeah, absolutely. You're really
good.
Yeah, every scene I really enjoyed every scene, and every scene to me seemed to be playing into a bigger picture. Like every scene didn't seem wasted. It seemed like it was all working towards that final scene of him spinning around 5 times before shooting his kid. Yeah. And that scene just how long that scene lasted and the score at that part, it just seemed like you were just like, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
With him going around and not shooting someone the first time, I just thought, oh fuck, he's got to give up at this.
Exactly.
If you didn't do it the first time, how many times
can you do it?
I know.
Yeah.
And no one being able to talk or anything, and that
it's smart though.
You just don't
that makes
exactly
sense,
yeah. And you know? But again, you just did not see that coming. I never thought it was going to get to that. But like you said, the whole thing, either 4 of them were going to die or one of them.
I was just about to talk to that or talk about that. I really like that because the daughter said that when she's sitting in the wheelchair smoking her cigarette. Yeah. And she goes, "It would have been tragic, Bill." Or the boy's name, Bill, right?
Bob.
It would have been tragic, Bob, because if he would have done that, it would have been 1 bullet would have took 4 lives. And the way she just delivers that dialogue was just so creepy, like, because she had a relationship with him. Like some sort of weird relationship. Like in that scene was just...
it was almost like he was talking through her, to me anyway.
Yeah. In a weird way. I could see that. It was weird because like she started to understand him.
She would say things that really you would only expect to come from Barry.
Yeah, and she started to figure out like where he was coming from and everything, and she knew. But I guess
it's like she had more information than everyone else. Like she knew,
which is possible that maybe they talked about it and whatnot at some point because they were spending a lot of time together and whatnot. But and towards the end though, she tried to play him or Martin or whatever and tried to get him to. But again, that whole scene of him, like Martin not being phased at all during the torture or anything, makes it just that much creepier. Where he knew that he wasn't scared of anything, even when the gun was at his head, or even the part where he bit off a chunk of his arm.
Yeah, that was crazy. It's like, I feel your pain. It's symbolism. I'm like, whoa, what is going on? A scene that I really like too is where, and I felt like this was good character development. Nicole Kidman's character, she comes to the basement, and instead of yelling at the kid or anything, what does she do? She kisses his feet.
Yeah.
Which is very symbolic as well. Which is what you do, if in the presence of a god. Yeah. You kiss their feet. You wash their feet.
In the Bible, it's a lot of washing feet.
Exactly.
Too and stuff, yeah.
And I felt like there was a lot of symbolism throughout this movie, and that's one of the main ones that I picked up on that I liked, because she finally just kind of relinquished it and said, okay, I do see you have some sort of supernatural power. Like, please help us. I felt like without any words being said, I kind of felt that vibe.
Well, at that point, to me, it was her. I mean, it was her trying to save her own ass.
Yes.
At that point. I mean, it was her, even though her kids were about to die. Because at one point she says, whatever.
I'm going to wear that black dress that you really like.
We can make more.
Yeah.
Which is such an insane, crazy, crazy thing for a mom to say and everything. It's just the most.
And that's actually very creepy as well, because mothers and fathers, they give their life for their children.
Yes, I know.
That's what you would expect is her to come to him and say, kill me so the kids can live.
Right.
But she goes the complete opposite direction.
Yeah, she does. And if anything, she's kind of bribing Colin Farrell, with the whole dress thing too. He goes, wear whatever you like, dear.
Oh yeah, she doesn't want to die.
Ooh,
she just, I mean, we say that parents are supposed to sacrifice themselves, but we really don't know when we're in that.
Yeah, when you're in that actual...
I mean, I think this whole thing is to show just how vain people are.
Right. And the human condition.
And the human condition, absolutely. Yep. I think that's the point of it. But it is crazy to see. And for her to say, we'll just make more.
Right.
When you're supposed to have like that unbreakable connection with your kid, but she's ready to kill both of them just so she can live.
Crazy stuff. I liked the when Bob was bleeding from the eyes. It looked
I was going to bring that.
Cool.
I was going to bring that.
It was a good special effect. There's no way that was CGI.
I'm not sure how they did that.
Yeah, because I mean, if you look in his eye, like it was
red and
coming
everything.
out.
Yeah.
So I wonder how. Yeah.
And it was pouring blood.
It was.
He wasn't. Yeah.
He wasn't lasting much longer.
Yeah, no.
It's probably good that he got the axe.
Crazy. I know. Did you think he was gonna die?
In that scene, no, I didn't. Honestly, this is one of those movies where I just could not predict the ending, and I had no idea. The first time I watched it, shout out to Bryce and Annalisa, because you guys were the ones who showed me this, and we watched it. But I was just so dumbfounded at the end, where I was like, what just happened? Like, it really, like, I had to sit back and process it. And I thought I hated the movie when I first saw it. I really did, because I was like,
yeah.
What? But then, like, afterwards, I started processing the whole thing, and I really did like this movie.
Yeah.
I love the way that they took it, because I just could not figure it out up until the very end. Even that cafeteria scene.
Yeah, I love that
thing.
they didn't make it where it was like... I keep saying it was a spell or something, but we don't know. It could have been.
We
It could
don't
have
know
been
what it
like
was.
a nerve agent or anything that he was. But they took it to where it wasn't anywhere where like they had to like break the curse or find the cure or anything. It was what he said. He had to kill someone, so he did. There was no finding a way out of it or whatever. They didn't skip past it or anything.
It was
They didn't
finalized.
make it where he sacrificed himself to kill him. He just killed one of their kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because he had to do it.
Right.
But he did it the most random, I guess, way you could have done it.
Yeah.
I really like the part where he goes to the school and he tries to get the teacher's opinion.
Yeah, that was
the,
hilarious.
the principal's like,
I can't make that call.
I can't say that. I don't know.
Which one did you like better? Like,
That's
what an
so-
odd thing for
I
a
know.
parent to come and ask, too, you know?
But he was, and you could see at that point, he was just trying to get
He was so desperate.
any kind of opinion on where it wouldn't have to be his own fault or whatever. Crazy.
Pretty wild movie.
Crazy, yeah.
Yeah.
I saw online, though, some people were saying that he killed the boy on purpose. Is that he
Interesting
knew, and
theory.
That would be the one that he chose. Because I thought he did seem closer to the girl. It seemed like him and the boy were at, with the hair cutting and him not wanting to water the plants and everything. It just seemed,
True. Those are the little things. Those are the subtle things
Exactly
that you can pick up and interpret, you know?
where he would have killed.
So now I thought that it was going to be the daughter or the wife at the end because he was standing closer to them with the gun.
Yeah, I had, at that point, I had no idea who was going to kill until he did it.
No,
like you
neither
said,
did I.
Yeah, it could have been anyone. It should have been the wife.
Yeah, should have. Yeah, I mean,
In a perfect
be
world,
realistic.
She's giving handies under bridges all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it should have been.
not the most loyal thing.
I mean, I'm not saying you should kill your wife if she cheats on you, but
Yeah, definitely not endorsing that idea either. But
it seemed like
you know?
she was the one that could have went
Right,
where it would have
yeah.
been okay. I mean, it should have been Colin Farrell. I mean, he should have been the one. He was a piece of shit.
should have offed himself.
But that wouldn't have done anything.
It wouldn't have done anything. Yeah,
Just
good
killed
point.
4 other people. Well, I fucking love this movie.
Yeah, so did I.
It's
I really
just-
did. And the second time watching it, I was like,
We talk
I
about
really
movies
liked
being
it.
original and how Hollywood now, they just recycle everything with so
Yeah.
many sequels and reboots and everything. It's nice to get an original movie like this.
And something fresh, unique, completely different, and very artistic.
Something I would have never even imagined someone thinking of the premise, or
Yeah.
it's just an insane
is.
thing to think about.
And a lot open to interpretation. I love movies like this. I really do.
Yeah, and it leaves it wide open, especially the very last scene where they're in the diner and they see the kid.
You can literally take that 100 ways, man. Like
You could say that kid wasn't there. You
Uh-huh.
could say he was there and they just saw him and the connection, because it's, adding that last scene is the perfect mind fuck.
It is,
To leave
yes.
you with, like,
the way the daughter's looking at him too. You know, you just
yeah, where you see that she obviously sees him, or she makes
Yeah.
in that connection or whatever, and then they all, and just the fact that they all go back to that diner where he first met Martin or whatever. Then again, maybe it made him less shitty people.
yeah.
And then having-
Maybe they get something out of it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's fucked up as
Probably
that is.
not.
Adios.
Yeah.
I mean, R.I.P. Bob, but
Yeah.
you know, someone had to go. So, you know,
Bob did not want to water the
got the
plants.
short-
Maybe you should water the.
water the goddamn plants.
Message to kids: do your chores, because
Yes.
your dad will
Cut your
shoot you.
fucking
Shoot you.
hair.
Cut
You-
your goddamn.
cut
You're not a hippie.
Come on, this is in the 70s.
Yeah. Your dad will tie you up at night and
duct tape you up,
Yeah.
put a hood over your head or a pillowcase, whatever that was, and shoot you.
A little too late, Bob. He tried to cut his hair.
Yeah.
He tried to pull that shit. What do you
Sympathy
thinking?
card?
Yeah,
Come
I
on,
know.
get out of here.
Cut
Your
your
eyes
hair.
are
You should
bleeding.
cut your
You're
hair when
already
I
gone.
asked
Yeah,
you.
you got 1 foot in the grave already, Bob.
Well, should we give a review? I want to hear Michael's.
I want to hear Michael's first. What's your review on this? What's your rating, Mike?
Well, normally, I mean, you guys mostly are the ones to pick these types of movies where it's not, I don't know how to explain it, it's just not normal, I guess, but like Cash has picked Shape of Water and then Hereditary, both movies that in no way or shape or form would I ever seek out.
I will always pick
But
these movies, Michael,
I have-
for you.
Well, I've liked both
I
of
will
those for the
force
most
you.
part. I mean, Hereditary I didn't enjoy as much, but I could see how it was, a decent film. And I kind of like Shape of Water. It surprised me that I didn't hate it. But this one, there was nothing for me in this one. I don't know what. I just seen it through different eyes, I guess. But I just fucking hated everything about it. So I don't even know how to give it a number because I hated it so
Well, you
much.
have to.
Yeah, you have to, because if it's circle bad,
Yeah.
I honestly,
have a new
if
one from
I
Michael.
was forced to watch that or this or The Circle, I would probably pick The Circle.
Wow, Michael. Then you better give it a review.
Michael.
Worse than The Circle.
10.
what? This is the most absurd.
No, he didn't like it. I understand.
I mean,
that.
the score alone gets 20, right? I mean, the score is
The only reason it's 10 is because of Colin Farrell and Nicole Kidman, and because it's a completely original idea. Otherwise, it'd be like a 3.
It's low.
I'm sorry, guys, but I fucking hated this movie.
Yeah. It's definitely going to be our most.
I would
most
not.
diverse
I would
fucking
not recommend
scoring.
it to anybody I know to watch this.
I'm flabbergasted.
I'm surprised you guys liked it this much.
Yeah.
What are your guys' score? Because I know what Rotten Tomatoes give it, so I'm curious to see what your guys' scores are around.
Well, I mean, I can go last, or I can go next.
Go ahead.
Since it was yours. Well, but the second time watching this movie, the first time, obviously, as I said before, I just sat there at the end like, I just had to process the whole thing. And I didn't really know how to feel about it, this or that. Second time watching it, I picked up on so many of the subtleties in this movie, and I really got a deep appreciation for just how crazy this movie is. For me, I give this a 92%. I love this movie.
All right. Well, I'll go. Yeah, like you said, and like Michael said too, the originality of this movie is just, for a movie, because I mean, we watch so many movies, and for a movie to have a completely original idea and just absolutely blow me, and absolutely, for me not to know at all where the movie's going for and everything, that blows my mind that people can still do that after so long. But and this movie is also visually striking. I feel like, me personally, I could put this movie on mute and just watch it, because it just this is how good it looks.
Might be better on mute.
Yeah. Well, I would disagree. Michael, wait till I'm done. But yeah, I love this movie. I love thrillers. I love movies that fuck with your head and make you think, and movies that you just don't know what's gonna happen. I gave this movie a 91.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we're really close.
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, you average them out. We gave it a 70% on the podcast. Maybe like 60%.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But yeah, I love this
yeah,
movie.
so do I.
He has another movie out called The Lobster.
The Lobster.
I've
yeah,
seen that
which I
movie.
want to
It's
see
really-
now
it's more
that
of a
I've seen this
sci-fi, but
twice.
Probably not gonna watch that.
It's a
either.
comedy too, isn't it? Because it's like 45 days and you turn into a beast.
If you don't find your
Yeah, if you
loved
don't
one,
find
you
a
get
loved
turned
one.
into an animal, and it's just as bizarre story. And it's just as dark and morbid, and with
Yeah, I wanna look
with
at that
everything.
one.
You should watch it,
Yeah,
and it's
me
got Colin Farrell.
Colin
in
Farrell
it,
in that one as well
Yeah.
too. Yeah, I was looking up this
which
director.
I
after-
love Colin Farrell.
I do too.
He's awesome. But yeah, you should watch that. I think it might be on Amazon also.
Yeah, it is. I checked. It's on Amazon Prime. So definitely one I'll check out.
Maybe Michael will pick that for his next pick.
Yeah, definitely. Mike, it's your picks this week. Alrighty.
Well, this is a crazy.
Crazy.
Day. I mean,
yeah.
it's
as crazy as the film.
Yeah,
Our reviews
yeah,
are
I
as
know.
crazy as the film. So
Well, even though I hated it, but I'm kind of glad that I watched it because it makes for a good podcast if somebody completely disagrees with it.
yeah.
Even though I didn't say anything because I didn't have anything to say.
I'm not mad at you.
Yeah, neither am I.
You're a piece of shit.
To each his own.
I usually can grasp onto something that, like, you guys pick off the wall stuff all the time, and I'm never usually. This is the first time where I've just blatantly come out and said I hated it. I mean,
you don't do that very often either.
I've seen much drier, more artsy films than this one that I've getting your point where it's like it's just boring as shit. But this one did not have that effect on me. It was artsy, but it wasn't like preachy. It wasn't in my face artsy or whatever. It still had a good enough story where I was involved in it.
For sure.
Man, 10%, Michael. You like The Circle better than I'd rather.
It's crazy.
I'd rather eat my own ass than have to sit through The Circle.
Yeah. But for our 100th episode, we're gonna have to sit through it again. The rehashing of The Circle.
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll have to talk about that one.
We have to do that.
I don't know.
It's Michael's favorite movie.
Yeah, it is.
It's not his least favorite.
It's not his least favorite anymore.
It's above one movie that I've ever seen, yeah.
I'm never going to let you live this down.
No, I cannot believe that. That is crazy.
You guys can try to convince me and sway me all you want. I'm never going to
watch it 5 more times.
Yeah.
Nah,
watch it.
Just watch
I
it
won't
one
watch
more
5
time.
seconds of it.
Wow. What was the Rotten Tomato score?
70.
User or?
No, it was 80.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it was
No, I thought it was higher than that.
I'm pretty sure it was 70.
It was 80. I'll bet you like $40 million.
Well, we all have that much.
Well, I don't either, Mike.
I said we all.
Oh.
I do.
Here it is.
80.
Yeah, 80.
Well, I don't know what I saw that was 70.
7.1 rating on IMDb.
Yeah, but the standard rating system.
No, I have no idea what they gave on IMDb. I'm sure it's around that.
Probably.
All right.
Alrighty, well.
Be interested to see the kind of people other than you guys that actually liked it.
Yeah, you know what? As a matter of fact, folks, give us your review of The Killing of a Sacred Deer on YouTube. Find us on YouTube. Type in HYSI, hashtag by any episode you're looking for. 7.1. Look at that. Would you imagine that? Incredible. Leave us a comment on our YouTube page. Let us know how you like this movie. This would actually be a really good one to get the fans' perspective.
I think
if you haven't watched it, I wouldn't recommend watching it.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Give us.
If you want to watch something new, and we want you to watch it to give us your review.
Yeah, give us your review.
I think this is a movie where you're either going to love it or you're absolutely going to hate it.
Absolutely.
I mean, there's no in between.
No,
you're not
there's
just going to
no
be
in-between.
like,
Yeah. This one will be The Killing of a Sacred Deer, obviously. Spoilers. Find us on
now the very
if you haven't listened to our podcast yet, we spoil every movie. It doesn't matter. Anyway, this is a Instagram. Have you seen it? Twitter, Seen It Podcast. Michael's on Twitter. WhatTheFalk63. He may change his @name to I Hate the Killing of a Sacred Deer, which is probably more than 15 letters. Cash is on Twitter. That's just Cash.
I'm going to change mine to I love the
Killing of a Sacred Deer. And find us on iTunes as well, guys. You got Apple Podcasts. Rate us on iTunes as well. Leave us a comment, review. That'd be awesome and great. And until next time.
Cut your fucking hair. Just cut it. Your dad's going to shoot you if you don't. I'm positive of it. This is a warning. The end.